right, guys, what's up? We're officially back with the Freak Mob podcast, and today our guest is
Kona Jade.
Kona. Thank you for joining us today.
Of course.
I want to thank all our supporters out there that's been rocking with us and been patient for years. Because of y'all, we can do this kind of thing. We can interview all the hot ladies all the time from the podcast. So, Kona, let's get right into it.
Okay.
All right, so where'd you grow up? Where you from?
I'm from Hawaii.
From where?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
That's the proper pronunciation.
Okay,
yes.
say it again.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yes.
I'm like, where is Hawaii? That's how. Oh, I never heard nobody call it.
In the Hawaiian language, the W is pronounced va.
Okay, word.
Yes.
Okay, so what was it like growing up in Hawaii?
Honestly, I feel really blessed to have grown up there. It's very beautiful, and people are very kind, and I just feel like there's a certain element of like life that you just get instilled into you where you're not super materialistic, and I feel like the values are just different there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's really dope. So, you had brothers and sisters growing up, or like a big family?
I have a huge family.
Okay.
I have 7 brothers and 2 sisters, but I only grew up with my younger brother and my younger 2 sisters.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. So I know everybody's gonna be wondering because you look real exotic. Like, what exactly is your ethnic background?
Hawaiian, Japanese, and black.
Hawaiian, Japanese, and black.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's really dope.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so at what age were you when you first started having sex?
I was 16.
16.
Okay. So like having sex, like penetrative boy-girl sex.
What age were you? What age were you when you first started?
Here we go.
Like just like fooling around, like I don't know, kissing
I was
and stuff.
so young. I used to like play with my girlfriends at sleepovers. We would
Okay.
get caught by our parents, and we'd have the most awkward like parent meetings. Yeah.
So your first sexual experiences was gay.
Yeah,
Okay.
all the way up until 16 years old, from like very young, like I would say like probably too young.
You were having sleepovers.
Yeah.
And then like
we were kissing, humping each other, and at
Were
one
you-
point fingering.
Damn. So were you initiating this, or was it like?
It was a bit of both.
Uh-huh.
It was a bit of both.
And you would get caught.
Yeah, we would get caught
Damn.
all the time. There was a point where I wasn't allowed to sleep over certain girls' houses because we were doing too much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And was it like a big deal because they were doing it with girls, or like
Yeah, my dad was not a fan of anything gay. He was not into that at all. So yeah, that was part of it. And then also just because we were young, and it's considered to be very inappropriate to be doing stuff young. So yeah.
And then at some point you started having sex with guys.
So I was always attracted to guys, but I was very, very shy when I was younger. I still am. I know I don't really present as that, but I am like pretty shy when I like people, so I could not talk to guys whatsoever. And then like when I started to get the courage, I was in my teens. Yeah, so that's when I started not really pursuing, but like being open to experiences with men.
Got you. Okay. So you were with a lot of different guys when you were in your teens. Like, were you like type of chick that was in one relationship, or were you just like having fun?
So it wasn't really just about having fun. Like usually it would be someone that I liked, and I would, have sex with them. But typically, like, it didn't turn into a relationship. I think that from young, I thought that I could get somebody that I wanted by sleeping with them. But it doesn't work out that way.
Like that. Definitely don't work like
Pussy
that.
does not keep a man.
Yeah. Well, does pussy keep a woman?
I don't know. I've never actually. I would use the term dated usually, but I have not been in a serious relationship with a woman.
Why not?
Oh, I think I'm just more attracted to masculine energy, but I'm not necessarily attracted to masculine women. Like I like feminine women, but I don't want to date someone who's more feminine than me.
Okay, so you keep the women for fun.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that makes sense. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so then what age were you when you started noticing that, like, the attention from men can turn into money?
So, you know how I said pussy doesn't keep a man? Mm-hmm. Well, it can get him to do what you want. Okay. So I learned that from pretty young. So, at some point, and not necessarily consciously, but I think just as like a habit, it became like, okay, I want this, so I'm gonna give up this, and I'm gonna get that. So, and then eventually I had stumbled across, being a stripper, and that's when I really realized, oh shit, like people will give me money just for being cute. Like,
Yeah. Did you ever try any other job before a stripper?
yes.
Okay.
So, I actually have had a job since I was 14 years old. I worked in my grandmother's health food store at 14.
Okay, cool.
I was paying for my own braces when I was in high school.
Paying for your own braces? Damn.
And
you got some nice ass teeth.
Thank you. These ones are veneers, but I had
They still
braces
nice
too. Thank you.
All right, cool. All right.
And then right after high school, I worked at Macy's in the men's department. I've also worked at a burger restaurant, not like a fast food joint, but like a sit down dining place.
Oh,
I
the
had
place
to
where like the burgers $30.
I was flipping burgers. Yeah, yeah, Big Island grass fed beef, that kind of fancy place,
Yeah.
And then what else have I done? I did a couple different sales jobs. I worked at a surf shop.
Okay.
And then I have, in between being in the adult industry, tried to do other jobs. Like when I would get a boyfriend and they were tripping on me, I was like, okay, I'll go do something else. But yeah, so I've worked quite a bit actually.
Okay. Has that ever worked out with you? Like dating while doing sex work?
No.
Short
answer
what
is
seems to
no.
be the problem?
I think that obviously it's like, our society puts a lot of emphasis on monogamy being the right way to do things.
True.
And, there's a lot of things within the adult industry, depending on what branch of it you're working in, that some people wouldn't consider to be monogamy. So whether you're stripping and, you're rubbing your booty cheeks all over somebody and, your man's not really going to like that.
Yeah.
Or, you're a porn star and you're doing other things, they're not really going to like that either. Depending on the person, obviously everybody has a different mindset and different views on things, but I've found that typically even when a man says they're okay with it, at a certain point when they start to get more involved with me, they start tripping on me. So yeah, but I understand it. I do. I would find it difficult.
Do the guys you dated ever get jealous because you make so much money or you make more money than them?
Definitely insecure. I don't know about jealous, but I'm used to being able to, I don't necessarily live like a lavish lifestyle, but if I want to do something, I can do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that leads me to just do whatever I want. And because they can't necessarily afford to do that, they feel some type of way, even though I've never been a stingy person. Like if you don't got it and you're my friend or partner, I got it. It's cool.
So the guys you dated had regular jobs?
Yeah, regular jobs.
If you were like...
Oh, not always.
No? Oh, all right.
I've dated some colorful people.
Okay. Yeah, because I know it could be difficult if you can travel and do all kind of stuff and the person you're dating can't, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or just I want to go out for a 5-star lobster dinner tonight, and they're like, and everything I made this week went to rent.
you take dudes out to dinner and pay for it?
I wouldn't say I take them out to dinner, but if we're going to dinner together and you don't got it and I pick the place, I got it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Especially if you like to do, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. 'Cause another question is on a first date, do you think there's a certain amount a dude has to spend to impress you, or if you like him, you like him?
The amount of times I've been on an actual date, I could probably count on one hand.
On one hand?
Yeah. But as far as expectations go, I would say no, there's no dollar amount. Honestly, I'm pretty simple. I do like lobster dinners, but I also like ramen. I like, getting a cheeseburger or cooking at home. I probably wouldn't go over to a stranger's house the first time I meet them at this point in life, but
Word.
Yeah, no dollar amount.
Do you count people that you have sex with in work towards your body count?
I don't have a body count.
You don't have a body count? You
No,
ain't counting?
I've not counted.
No.
I don't think the amount of people you've had sex with. I'm more worried about the quality of people I've had sex with. Also questionable. Yeah. But
Good answer. All right, so you started stripping what age?
19.
19. All right, so when you go 19 to the club, you get to try out. Were you nervous to do that, or were you ready for it?
So I had, oh, actually, okay, so the first time I stripped was not at a club. It was at a bachelor party, which was like in a hotel room
That's
in
dope.
Hawaii. There
Uh-huh.
were plastic lawn chairs set up around the hotel room, and the guys were sitting in a circle, and us girls were just like, I want to say shaking ass, but I really didn't have much ass to shake at that point in my life. Just doing little tricks and like, everybody's drinking, whatever. It was like a hangout more than a club.
Yeah.
But yes, I was absolutely terrifying.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was.
Did you make good money at least?
I made $1,000 my first night.
Okay, so back then in 19 making $1,000 in the first night, that's like, yo, that's good paper. Compared to working at a surf shop and then
having to get by on $300 a week.
Yeah, I feel you on that. So the money came in fast.
The money came in fast. I went home and I cried that night because I knew I couldn't tell anybody about what I had done because my friends and family were going to judge me. But then I counted the money and I was like, that's not so bad.
it was fucking with you. It was fucking with you mentally.
Yeah, only because of the isolation of the feeling. Like I didn't think I was doing anything wrong, but I knew other people would. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is your family more supportive of it now, or?
The people that I am in contact with in my family have a complicated family life.
Gotcha. Some people just ain't fucking with it.
But I'm not really fucking with them, so.
Gotcha. All right, so. From the bachelor parties, I'm guessing eventually you got into clubs, you got used to it.
Yeah, so I had moved to the city in Hawaii, which is Honolulu, and there were lots of strip clubs there. There were only a couple I could work at because I was under 21, and at first it was a huge adjustment, but very quickly I was always like a top earner in every room I stepped into.
That's good.
So yeah, I got used to it real quick.
How did you learn how to be a top earner? Was it just you were just smiling, a good attitude?
It's just the energy, honestly, because there are times in my life where I've looked better or worse, or people like different things, so who's to say if I looked better or worse? But I was real skinny. I didn't have no titties. I did not know how to do my hair and makeup. I didn't even know how to put lashes on when I started dancing. And I would say that it's just the energy. I went in with a smile on my face. I did my best and, just tried really hard.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. That's good. And you saying, in Hawaii, how much is a good night stripping in Hawaii?
I was consistently earning between $400 and $1,000 a night.
Okay, cool. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. And, is there ever nights that, it's just slow ass?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So some nights will just be breaking even or
some
money.
nights you lose money. Absolutely.
What about the strip club politics out there? Because out here I know there's do you have to pay to strip at the house?
You usually have to pay a house fee to strip, and then you have to tip out the people that work at the club, like the staff, the manager, the DJ, the bouncers, and everybody's doing a job, so everybody wants to eat. And if you want people to help you do your job safely, you don't want the DJ putting on some techno music when there's a room full of black people.
Yeah. So, that's what I was gonna ask next. So what's the guys in the Hawaiian strip clubs?
So that was actually interesting. It's a very tight-knit crew within the nightlife in Hawaii. I would see the same faces all the time. Very rarely will we get tourists coming into the club because when people travel to Hawaii, typically they're either there on business or family. They didn't really venture into the strip clubs like that. So it was mostly locals. And in Hawaii, we have a lot of, obviously, Polynesian people, but also Asian cultures. So,
gotcha.
Very, consistent niche of demographic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of guys, were spending the most?
I would say... That's actually hard to answer. I don't know if I remember back then who was spending money. I just know I made a lot of money on stage. In Hawaii, we have a Korean-style hostess bar vibe to our clubs where you sit down with a girl, you buy her a drink, the club charges a surcharge on that drink, and that kickback goes to the girl. And then you also get paid hourly to work there. And then you also...
they pay hourly?
Yeah, and then you also make tips and dances. Yep.
Oh, okay, that's cool. And minimum wage, just state minimum wage?
Yeah, just about. I can't remember what the pay was. I think something like $10 an hour.
Too?
Not a check, but I was getting paid out in cash every night.
Yeah.
And then you get paid for dances. But the thing is, in Hawaii, our laws around touching are really strict. Like,
Okay.
I had to dance on a box, and the customer was on a chair, and there was no contact.
Zero touching.
Contact.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
It's different in New York.
Not in the 18 and over clubs, but if they served alcohol, zero touching.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And then eventually at some point, did you just like, I want to venture out to other cities and try dancing at other cities? So what age are you when you were like, I'm about to go see you somewhere else?
So at 20, I got hired at a 21 and over club, and I was working there illegally, and I kept having to go and hide when the liquor commission would come in and try to like bust people.
Like really hide?
Like go in the back, like, or put on a cocktail dress and pretend I was a waitress. So the other girls were mad that the boss let me work because it could close down the club.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm tired of these girls bullying me, but I need to make my bread. So I actually went to Guam to dance for a couple of months until my 21st birthday. So that was my first venture into another, like, you know, place, actually, another country, actually, U.S. territory, but still. So I did that, and then when I got back, I was like, you know what? I don't even like it here anyway. Like, I want to go dance in a big city. Like, so I moved to Vegas because I had heard how good the clubs were there. Moved to Vegas with $150 in my pocket. And from there, started making consistently like 2 bands a night.
Oh, wow.
I think the most I made at a Vegas club was like $10,000 in a night.
Oh, wow. So you think just because there was more people and more money in Vegas and then like more tourists? Or?
I think it's the vibe of the tourism there. Like, people go to Vegas to spend money, to party, to gamble. You know, like, they know when they go to Vegas, they're not coming back with any money, so they don't care how they spend
true.
it.
That is true. Yeah.
So that was, I think that's why. And also, I was different looking than a lot of the girls there. Like, there was a lot of very, like, you know, polished white Barbie doll looking girls with like fake titties. Nothing against any of that. I got fake titties now, and I love white girls.
I do too.
But I just stood out from that. So I think that, and being young, and also like I was a lot more naive then, so probably guys would think like, oh, like, I'm gonna get somewhere with this.
Wow.
Meanwhile, I'm going home with their money.
So you mentioned that when you were in Hawaii, like, some of the girls were mad that the club owner was letting you dance even though you were only 20.
Yeah.
Is there is that like a typical thing where there's like cattiness and jealousy among strippers, or do you guys like work together?
I think it's a bit of both. Like, there are always, in any room full of people, there's going to be people that want to compete with each other and want to be weird and have, you know, animosity. And I think that with women competing for money and attention, it's gonna be there. But I have also made some of the best friends that I still have through dancing.
That's
so I've
good.
met some people who actually want to work together and, you know, want to have mutual support. So
That's good. Good. Do you ever get guys in the strip club that are like taking it too far, trying to like be your boyfriend?
Yeah.
Do you feed them the fantasy?
I'm not gonna say I never have, but I much prefer to just like, you know, I'll entertain them there, but I try not to really sell a dream, because I feel like that can be, one, dangerous, and it's also exhausting for me, because then, you know, if they have my number, the next day they're blowing me up, they want to take me out to eat, and I'm like, bro, I don't want to hang out with you.
Yeah. Gotcha, so you got to Vegas and you're making way more money stripping now.
Yeah.
At what point do you like venture into doing adult film work?
So when I was in Vegas, actually, at 22, I had signed a contract with a popular agency, and I was about to start doing porn, but I kind of had second thoughts. I got cold feet. I did one scene. I don't think it was ever released.
What made you take that leap?
I was already, I had been doing some like other work behind the scenes of stripping. Little strange for some change.
Nothing wrong with that. Okay.
And I was like, you know, this isn't any different, except that, you know, in porn people are going to be, you know, tested, and it's all going to be legit and official. But I had some not great interactions with my first agent. I was a little weirded out by him.
This is an agent in Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it was also like I was still so young. I don't think that I had really considered what that life choice would mean for me, as far as, you know, the sacrifices you make with relationships with other people, whether that be romantic or family or even just yourself. So I don't think I was mentally ready for any of that. And also I was really irresponsible at that age. Like I was getting drunk every night. Yeah, I was wild. So I think I would have been missing set all the time.
So, you tried doing one film, and you said you kind of didn't like it.
It's not that I didn't like it. I was fine with the, you know, having sex with a stranger. I was fine with, it was more the idea of how this could affect my life going forward that I wasn't ready for.
Got you.
Yeah, so I just told my agent. I was like booked out for like, you know, at least a month in advance because I was new. You know, the industry loves new people.
Yeah.
And then I just was like, nah, pull the plug on that.
Pull the plug on it.
Yeah.
Took a step back from it, went back to the stripping. I
guess.
guess.
I continued to dance. And then at one point, so this is almost 10 years later, I was living in Australia studying.
Australia?
Yeah, I lived in Australia for 3.5 years. I actually just moved back last year.
Oh, okay.
And I was studying, and, you know, I was there by myself trying to make ends meet. Being an international student is not cheap. And so I was escorting. It is completely legal there as well. So it was.
Oh, it's legal in Australia?
Yeah, completely decriminalized in most states. Yeah. So I was doing that. But during COVID, we had some really strict lockdowns, and I wasn't allowed to leave the house or have people over to my space or anything. So I had to figure out a way to make money, and I started doing OnlyFans.
Gotcha.
And then from there, once I moved back to the States, some of the like bigger companies noticed me online, and when I had done some collabs with people that were local, and they reached out to me asking to do some scenes. So yeah.
What differences do you notice about like escorting or the escort business in Australia, being that it's legal?
I think one of the main things is safety. So I think that when women are working here, there's not a lot of protection for you. So you have to do all of your screening really diligently, and be very precautious of how you move, because someone could be a predator of some sort. They could be a police officer. You can get into legal trouble. They could be a pimp. They could be trying to, you know, do something terrible to you. So you have to be really, really cautious, versus in Australia, you still have to be cautious because obviously due to the nature of the work, you're still going to have people who don't have your best interests at heart, but you're allowed to be a lot more open about things. So your screening is a lot easier.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are the men in Australia generous? Like cheap?
I mean, it's the same. It's the same either place, because either way, I still have people trying to negotiate, you know, what my time is worth, and you know, telling me I'm crazy when I tell them my rates. So.
So when you started OnlyFans, was it picking up for you right away?
No.
Yeah,
no, I didn't make shit.
Yeah, you gotta figure out what to do on there.
Well, like I did. I would make money, but I would have to work like really, really hard to make that small amount of money. Like I was probably like the most I had made when I first started off was like $1,000 from OnlyFans, and it's because I have never until now had any sort of internet presence. Like I've always been super low key.
Gotcha.
And yeah, so it was quite difficult because who do you advertise to when you don't have a presence? And I didn't understand that at the time. I just thought, oh, like I'm doing the same thing but online, like I'm gonna make money.
Yeah. I think a lot of people think a lot of girls think you could just make an OnlyFans and it'll just pop off, but it's actually a lot of
there's a lot that goes into it.
Gotcha. Okay, so then you had the OnlyFans, and then that made you want to try just doing porn again?
To be honest, I've always kind of had like a sort of an eye for the adult industry. Like I remember being 16 years old and watching, I had stolen the movie Showgirls from my mom. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
It's like triple X rated,
really?
I think. But it's pretty tame compared to some of the stuff.
But it's like a movie.
But it's a movie, and it's about this girl who she was, I think a stripper, I'm gonna say, and then she wanted to be a Vegas showgirl, and she like goes and like hitchhikes to Vegas or something. I can't remember the full plot, but it's just about her transformation. And I remember finding out that stripping was a thing through that movie. And at that time in high school, we were doing budgets in economics class, and they were teaching us like how to, adult. And I remember doing the one that they wanted me to do, but then going home and doing a separate one as a stripper. I don't know how I thought that I knew how much money I was gonna make, but yeah.
So you were in high school, budgeting stripper income.
Yeah.
Fantasizing like, if I'm making $5 grand a night, I can do this.
Yeah.
But if I got this regular job, I'm making $1 grand a week.
From then, it was like, this shit
so
don't
you had
add
it on paper. Yeah, you said it don't add up. It don't add up. You had it on paper.
I knew it wasn't gonna cut it. Yeah.
So you had ambitions to get that real bread.
Yeah.
And, okay. All right. Cool. Did you ever maybe want to if you weren't doing porn, what do you think you'd be doing? Was there ever?
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, I come from a pretty colorful family background, and I have always had a passion as well for community services. I actually have a degree in that. And even once I retire from the adult industry, I would like to work in community services. Probably doing something that relates to adult work, like support for mental health for sex workers, or women who have been sex trafficked, something like that. But yeah, that's what I would be doing. I would definitely be in social work or community services.
Would you say that working in adult film, do you think it mostly has a negative impact on a performer's mental health, or do you think it's different case by case?
I think it just depends on the person. I think if your values are, very traditional, and you're doing porn work and you have that internalized whorephobia that says what I'm doing is inherently bad, then it can be really bad for your mental health. Or if you're taking on board other people's opinions of what you're doing, then yes, it can be terrible. And I've experienced that myself. It's something I still have to process from time to time. But for the most part, I don't believe that what I'm doing is wrong. So it does, me personally, I think that mostly it affects me in a positive way. I get to be around like-minded people. I get to do something that, gives me a feeling of accomplishment. And I really genuinely enjoy it.
The freedom to travel, the free
I
schedule.
get to live a life that makes me happy.
Money's good.
Yeah.
Do you feel empowered by earning money? When a man gives you money, just for being beautiful or even to have sex with, does it feel empowering?
Yes and no. I wouldn't say that it feels empowering in the sense that this is so great, whatever, I just got money off of a man. I'm not really I don't get me wrong, I have my opinions about straight males, but I don't it's not something where I'm I want to take your money. It's what empowers me is the lifestyle that I'm able to live because of the money that I make doing this work.
Okay. So
and the freedom.
That makes sense. So how long was it before you were trying out OnlyFans? Before did you reach out to an agency or something like that to get started back with adult work again?
So when I moved back to the States, I did one collab with a star in Miami, and they already had the eyes of Brazzers on them because of associates that they had. So Brazzers hit me in a DM, and I remember being this is not their real account. So I was
you did a collab with somebody, and then off that collab, Brazzers hit you in the DM. That's pretty good. That's not bad, yo. Whoever that is, they got you the exposure. They hooked you up.
We recently actually did a scene for Brazzers together, and I was thank you so much.
You should.
Because they pretty much put me on.
That's
and I don't think I finished answering, but I've always thought of porn as something that I wanted to get into.
Collab with that person that got you in front of Brazzers?
They reached out to me on Twitter. So I think I had been starting to follow people in the industry, and somehow we ended up with eyes on each other, and they reached out to me, and I was let's do it. We did that, I think we did 1 or 2 collabs, and then the next thing you know.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So after, you said almost 10 years from your first scene, your second scene's pretty much with Brazzers.
Yeah.
Were you nervous?
And that's my first actually published scene as well.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
I was so nervous.
Uh-huh.
Luckily, I had started to do more boy-girl collabs, so I knew how to like, be on camera, and I knew how to process like the fact that I was having sex with a total stranger, and I was prepared somewhat, but I was very nervous.
You were very, very nervous and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I guess you felt probably accomplished after the scene.
Absolutely.
And then, did someone like, hey, this is the agent, he can help you out, or like?
Yes. Speaking of like feeling accomplished after the scene, I still have a picture in my phone of me holding up my first check.
Oh, okay. You proud of that?
But yes, so pretty straight away, people who worked for other agencies were like, oh, like if you ever need an agent, like look into this person. And obviously, I had a really bad idea of agents from my first experience, so I was kind of like, yeah, fuck that. But eventually, I was like, hey, like if I want to do this as a business and get consistent work, like it's probably good that I make some connections within the industry. So I did reach out to the agent that I saw doing the most work in Florida, which is where I was at the time, and yeah.
Cool. Do you think it's worth it having an agent that you have to give them a percentage of your earnings, right? Like of scenes, right?
I think that when you're starting off, yes, it is worth it. I think that the goal eventually would be to be self-booking, but I definitely think that my agent has helped me get my name out there to people that I wouldn't have known otherwise.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. So, and then how many years have you been doing porn now?
It's been almost 1 year.
So you're mad fresh with it.
I'm still new.
Yeah. How many scenes do you think you've done?
I've lost count. I would say probably around 30.
And are you dancing at all anymore?
No.
No? Would you ever dance again?
Only feature dancing.
Like
if a club wanted to pay me to show face, I would, but I'm not gonna go in there and convince somebody that they should give me $20.
Okay. Yeah. So was it like now it's just like it's that is just like old for you, like you didn't.
It's the environment that it's in. I don't like being around drugs and alcohol, which can be something that you're around a lot in the strip club, because me personally, I like to live a healthier lifestyle than that 90% of the time. That 10% though. You've seen it.
Yeah. We was in Mermaids in New York,
and
it
was
was fun.
turned up.
That was it more fun going to the strip club as just like a as a person?
Yes. And I love going to strip clubs still. And when I go, I love spending money. Like you cannot get me to stop spending money in the strip club.
What kind of girls you like?
I like everybody.
Like everybody?
Yeah, I like everybody. I just like happy girls. Like, come around, be fun, have good energy. Like, of course, pretty girls, but there's not so many girls that I would say are not pretty, you know?
Yeah, I like when I go to the strip club and I notice, like, the girls are working together.
Yeah.
And not, like, there's no tension and, like, stuff like that.
I like that, too, because if they start acting competitive, I'm real quick to be like, this is my table, get out.
I don't like, I've seen girls act competitive and cutthroat with each other in the strip club, and I don't like that.
I don't support that. We like girls.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess your OnlyFans picked back up, too, since you're, like, in the spotlight more, right?
Yes and no, because I'm so busy traveling for work. I do find it hard to maintain doing collabs consistently, so I have not really been active on my OnlyFans, but I just started up again, and it's picking up very quickly. Yeah.
And how do you feel about doing collabs as opposed to doing a scene that you just get paid for? Because for people who don't know, sometimes performers will collaborate with each other, like do a scene together, and then they like just both keep a copy of the scene so we both can sell it and make money off of it. Or there's instances where like a company or a producer would pay you to do a scene and you don't get to sell it, but you just get paid, so which like, how do you feel, like, which one do you prefer?
I personally like showing up, doing my job, and leaving with money.
Yeah.
Yes, but I do like working with other people, but only if I know them. I tried doing I'll work with anybody and being really open about who I want to work with, and I just don't always have good experiences.
Got you.
So I'd rather work with people I know and feel safe with, or just that I have a vibe with, you know?
Porn is pretty, would you say that porn is pretty like the directors and producers listen to you if you like about who you work with, Or,
yeah, absolutely. If I say I don't want to work with somebody, either they're going to replace them or the shoot gets canceled. Yeah.
Okay. Would you feel some type of way if they're like, oh man, if you don't want this guy, then we got to cancel the shoot? Like, do you feel like you lost a job now because you didn't want to work with that person?
I mean, I think that because of like my own sort of anxious nature, like I don't want to piss anybody off, but I have had to make a hard decision and say, hey, like you booked me with this person I've already said I don't want to work with, and spoke up about it, and the shoot just got canceled. So it was hard because I felt like, oh, that person, like this company might not want to work with me, or they might think I'm an idiot, or my agent's probably mad at me. But at the end of the day, I made the right choice for me, and that's all that matters. And that company did end up rebooking me. So
okay, that's all that matters.
I think they really do care about you being paired with someone you feel safe, and that wasn't a safety thing. It was like a personal thing where I just was like, I don't know if I want to.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right, so you work with Brazzers. You ever done Bang Bros?
Yeah, I've done a few.
Done Bang Bros?
Yeah.
And who's another big one? Like, you ever done like any Vixen?
Not yet.
Not any Vixen?
No.
You did Freak Mob.
I have. A few times.
We've done Freak Mob a couple of times. I had you do. I shot with you first in Miami. That was dope.
Yeah.
You were like squirting and stuff. Then I had you do the scene with.
Squirting.
I had you do the scene with D-Ruff and
Devin.
Oh
Man.
That was cool. That was a really cool scene. It was a lot of energy.
It was.
You were squirting all crazy.
Yeah, it was hitting the back wall.
Yeah. Do you just stay hydrated for that, or you just really turned on and it just happens, or?
I do stay hydrated, but yeah, it's like you know that term "break the seal" that like people refer to when peeing. Like it's like once somebody hits that spot, it's gonna happen, and it just keeps happening, and like it's actually very hard for me to control. If somebody's hitting the right spot, it's gonna be water.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has it ever have you ever got a guy that got annoyed and disgusted by like? You know what I mean? He's at home in his actual bed he sleeps in, and then you just like squirting all over the place.
I had one like friends with benefits at one point that would tell me before I'd come over like, don't pee in my bed. He would refer to it as me peeing, and he'd be like, don't pee in my bed. And then I have had like one, sort of random thing where I like squirted and the guy was like absolutely appalled. Like he was like, oh my God. But this same person was also appalled when I spit on it. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, he was like, no body fluids. I'm like, why are you having sex, bro?
Yeah, right? No body fluids. Like, what would have dry ass sex? What are some of your kinks, you think?
Here we go. I've not explored kink too much,
Gotcha.
but some things that other people who are more vanilla might consider to be kinky that I am actually into. I do like being degraded a little bit, but I also like being praised. So like if you're gonna be like, oh, you little slut, be like, oh, you're such a beautiful slut,
Gotcha.
Like I do like being smacked a little bit. I like being choked, or restrained in other ways.
It's interesting you say that, because today we're shooting for my hardcore site, Freak Mob Hardcore. So I hope you're excited about it. So like on this site, it's like Freak Mob, but we do scenarios. It's more like a storyline. So we do like scenarios where we'll have like, I don't know, I'll catch a girl stealing from me or texting other dudes and I'll get mad about it. And we do some degrading. And it's like rougher content, so there's like slapping.
Is there face effing in there?
Yes. Some face effing.
Love that.
I'll be slapping
Love that
the girls,
for me.
choking them, a little bit of degrading. Put them on a leash, walk them through the studio.
Okay, that's spicy.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what
I'm with it.
Yeah, you're with that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to know.
It's like I'm open to experiences. Obviously, there's some stuff where I'm just like I think we discussed one where I was like, that won't work for me. But like I'm pretty open-minded.
We were talking about a golden shower.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
It's all good.
My hair's expensive.
Yeah. It's actually hard to, at the end of a scene, give somebody a golden shower. It's kind of difficult.
Because things still hard, right?
Still hard, yeah.
And now I'm watching what I say when I've been wilding out the whole time.
No. I think after a certain while into the video, it's like they don't even look at the language not as much no more. So like I'm pretty sure we're past that threshold now and stuff like that.
Voila.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it is kind of difficult to just, I don't know. I feel like my body knows it's wrong to pee on someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you said that's not your thing. That's cool and stuff like that. But you said you do like a little choke slap here.
Yeah,
here
I like being talked to crazy. I like being face fucked hard. Little finger in the booty hole.
Okay.
Never hurt nobody.
Oh, okay.
And I also like to I like to explore other people, so like I'm into like rimming and not necessarily in my personal life, but like I like to do it on camera. I think it looks hot. I think fans enjoy it. Yeah.
Do you like when you hook up with regular vanilla civilian guys, are they into that kind of sex too, or are they like weirded out by it?
Okay, so I get like one or the other, right? Where I'm either like fetishized because of what I do, and they start doing all types of freaky shit like that they think I'm gonna like, and in my personal life I'm actually relatively vanilla. Well, to me I am, and compared to like on camera me, you know? Or I get people that like I might be a little too much for them, and I never hear from them again. But weird. I don't have sex with civilian people in my personal life anymore.
So civilians are like off the table. You're not dating.
I don't date.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. Have you done any scenes where you've gagged and had to like puke on dick before? Yeah.
Yes.
And what was that like? Were you like disgusted?
I was not prepared. I didn't know it was gonna be like that, and I wouldn't say I was disgusted by it. It was more like an ego death, because like you could see what I had for breakfast, and I was like, "Fuck, that's embarrassing."
Oh, so you're like embarrassed by it?
Yeah, I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
But then like, because it's something that's out of the norm, and because like it was something that I was being asked to do, and I like rose to the occasion and succeeded at it, and I did a great job. Afterwards I was like, fuck yeah, like look at me, I'm boss.
Okay, yeah. Own that shit.
Yeah,
I'm proud of that shit. Definitely. Okay, so real quick, you said you lived in Australia, Hawaii, Florida. You've been
Vegas,
all over.
LA.
Yeah. Where do you want to pick as like home when you're done with all this, do you think?
Okay, so when I'm done with all of this, like completely out of the industry, and like not even just out of the industry, but when I'm older and I want to retire, I would like to move back to Hawaii, and I want like a little farmland with like goats and chickens, and like I just want to live like in a real peaceful place, in a beautiful piece of land. But as far as like while I'm still young and hot, I'm gonna run this shit into the ground.
So you're gonna be moving all around, staying mobile.
I would like to have like one place that I call home, but I definitely see myself traveling a lot. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. I would like to do some work internationally as well. So.
Got you. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's dope. If you like shooting like Europe and shooting,
I would
like
love
Japan
to do that.
like
if the opportunity arises while I'm still actively shooting, I will definitely be taking that.
Yeah, that's cool. I did one shoot in Colombia.
That's cool.
It was dope.
Yeah.
It was dope. Yeah. It was dope. It was just like there's a lot of girls in Colombia looking to get into sex work.
Yeah.
And we had I know another male performer that's out there, and he referred me to a doctor.
Was it Pressure?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've worked with him. Shout out to Pressure.
I've worked with him and Minnie. Yeah.
Word. Okay.
Yeah, they were one of my first collabs as well, actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. So Pressure put me onto this doctor that pulled up to the crib and will test the chick right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he'll just like go, and then later on send you the results to it.
That's awesome.
Like that.
I wish we had that here.
Yeah, right? That'd be cool, right? Yeah. I
don't have to leave my house.
If you think about it, TTS, all it is a tube, like the testing kit. It's a tube, swabs. You could do that anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was thinking like.
And like I get IV drips at home sometimes. Why can't we do the testing?
Right? Yeah.
I would pay extra too. Especially like when I'm out in Miami, like that shit's far.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I would pay. I would definitely. There was a point in time where I was going all the way to New York to get tested because there was no TTS in New Jersey.
Wow, yeah, that would be annoying.
So I would definitely pay extra for someone to come here, draw my blood, take my urine, take the samples, and send them in. They send them into a lab anyway.
Yeah.
TTS need to get on that. They need to.
Yeah.
We need mobile testing.
Chop.
I don't want to leave the crib.
With haste.
Yeah. So real quick before we go. Appreciate you coming on to the pod.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's always great working with you. Just tell people where they could follow you at.
All right, so my Twitter is where all the action is at. That's Kona Jade. You can follow me on OnlyFans at Kona Jade as well. And then my Instagram is official Kona Jade, and there will be links to all of my other accounts on my website, which is nakedhuladancer.com.
naked hula dancer. That's cool because you're Hawaiian. You're a naked hula dancer.
Yeah.
We gotta get you naked hula dancing one day on video.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we about to get into it. We're shooting a scene today for Freak Mob Hardcore. It's gonna be on freakmobhardcore.com.
I'm so excited.
Very soon. Tune in for that. She's gonna be doing all kinds of crazy shit. I appreciate y'all rocking with me again on the Freak Mob podcast. We officially back. Let's do it.